Live from the Aiken Centre in Fredericton, SSN Canada presents Canadian University Hockey. And tonight the Varsity Reds will take on St. Mary's University Huskies. Hi everybody, I'm Mike Gange along with Pearlie Brewer and Gary Boole for tonight's game. And a very snowy night, roads are terrible. It's a good thing you're here as an internet audience, ladies and gentlemen, because there will be very few fans in the building tonight, and the roads are just absolutely treacherous. Pearlie, we don't have the standings board. They're doing some modifications here to the rink. Let's talk for a minute about goaltenders or standings. What have you got for us?
Well, actually, Mike, it's as you mentioned a moment ago, they're doing some renovations here at the rink. We'll get Gary in a minute here, maybe to give us a shot. They're putting up some new electronic boards here to be able to show replays of goals and to be able to, I guess, get a little more excitement in the Aiken Centre. They intend to have those ready, of course, for the Nationals. There's a great shot of one of them on one side of the rink, and there's another one over on the other side of the rink. So about a month from now, you should be able to come in here to the Aiken Centre, Mike, get to watch all the replays, all kinds of fun things on their new boards. When we look at tonight's game, Mike, I'll tell you, it's a real tough game for both of these teams. You've got UNB first place right now, 30 points, 3 points up on St. Mary's. These two teams are just so close. You'll look at the stats, and today I spent probably about a half an hour going through all the stats. And within almost every category, Mike, these two teams are almost tied on almost every single item in all through the stats. So you've got two very even teams here tonight.
And they don't like each other.
Oh, they really don't like each other. And, of course, probably a little bit of bitterness on the UNB part here tonight. Of course, they would have loved to have been able to have won the CIS championship as well as obviously the AUS last year. Ended up getting beat out, of course, by St. FX. St. Mary's goes on and win, and these guys don't forget.
Well, there's one of the coaches. That's Gardner, and he's given that gum a big working over already. And on the other side is Trevor Steinberg, who's been coaching, 14 years, and there's Trevor.
Yeah.
And it brings a real knowledge of hockey here.
Oh, I'll tell you, both of these coaches bring such experience. Great shot there, Trevor Steinberg. He's coached 14 years in the AUS, of course, a long and very extensive career of playing in the American Hockey League and the National Hockey League. We had a great shot a minute ago of Gardner McDougall. This is his 11th year with the program. So, you got 25 years of coaching here in the AUS, Mike. These guys are very good coaches.
Well, you can see who the starting lineups are. And a special presentation tonight to the Leadership Award. Don McAdam will be presenting that. Donnie was here 76, 77, 78, and they're on. A very popular coach, a very technically sound coach, and of course moved on and coached a little bit with Jacques Demers in the NHL and ran the practices for Jacques. Detroit, is that right?
Yep. So I'll tell you another great, when you look, Mike, of the history of the coaching here at UNB and the coaches here that have gone on, you mentioned Donnie McAdam, of course you get Mike Johnson went on, Mike Kelly went on, a number of the UNB coaches have gone on to very good professional hockey careers as coaches.
Here's house announcer Dave Morrell. Bringing in Don McAdam now. Two McAdams coached here in Fredericton. Al McAdam was with the St. Thomas University, the cross-campus rivals, and Donnie was here. I was here as a young student on the campus. He was super to me.
And as a member of the varsity-ranked hockey team, graduate students are also eligible. The successful recipient must possess a high level of physical fitness, have an outstanding work ethic, be community-minded, and a team leader on and off the ice. The recipient must have demonstrated successful academic performance and any requirements of Atlantic University sport and the CIS will also apply. We would ask Mr. Brenton Stamler to please come forward to receive the Don McAdam Award.
So Gallant gets one and Stamler gets one. That's two nice awards to give out to those players.
I would now ask the team captains to please come to center ice for the ceremonial puck drop.
St. Mary's University and UNB here tonight on a very snowy night. Not real nice outside. Most of Fredericton is built on a hill. If you're going down the hill tonight, you're doing okay, but coming uphill anywhere in the city, boy, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, we've got a blizzard going on here, right? Started about, I guess, about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and have a temperature out there. I guess it's about -9 with a wind chill of -18. So I'll tell you, Mike, I look around the rink here, and we might have 500-700 fans here. And for the weather outside, I'll tell you, they're very loyal fans to come out on a night like this.
As Gary shows you right there, lots of empty seats here tonight. Here's Keith Amos in the national anthem. National anthem at the Aiken Center, UNB in red, St. Mary's University Huskies in white. You know these two teams just don't like each other at all. And tonight's going to be another one of those games where they're going to be at each other's throats, and we can predict that from the opening face-off.
Yeah, and as I mentioned a moment ago, Mike, two very even teams. Of course, 3 points only separate them in the standings, not a very big margin. And especially if you're St. Mary's tonight, you're sitting at 27 points, only 4 points up on St. FX and UPEI. The league is so close. They lose tonight to UNB. All of a sudden, they're going to be, within a couple points possibly of either St. FX or UPEI. On the other hand, they win tonight here, Mike, and they're only 1 point back of UNB. Everybody likes that coveted #1 spot. You get home ice advantage.
Colby Pridham for St. Mary's will take on Kyle Bailey in this opening face-off. A very snowy night at the Aiken Center. UNB taking on St. Mary's. You're joining us on SSN Canada. Mike here, Purley doing color commentary and analysis, and Gary Boole is our cameraman and technician. Don't forget, we're open to emails. That's VRedsHockey, all one word, VRedsHockey@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you on a very snowy night here in Fredericton. Once again, off the face-off, the Reds control. They snap this one up into the stands, and we get 2 whistles in 11 seconds.
So when you look at the stats here, Mike, UNB's been averaging 4.3 goals for a game. St. Mary's, 4.2. That's just how close these two teams are. When it comes to goals against, UNB 1.7, 2.4 for St. Mary's. A little bit higher, but generally pretty close, all the stats for these two teams.
And one of the stories here tonight has got to be Mike Denton. You'll see him out there, number 22 for St. Mary's. Former pro hockey player with a history. Here's Bailey for the Reds. Taps this one forward. The Reds control it inside the blue line, but not very long, and St. Mary's will bring it out and bring it down the ice very quickly. That's Pridham fighting for it. Onto the boards. Bailey tries to tap it out. St. Mary's rolls it right through the crease. Nobody there to bang it home. 19 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the opening period. That's McNeil into the corner. Tries to play it. St. Mary's controls it deep in their own zone. That's Dave McDonald who rolls it out. A little too far for Cam Fergus. And the tic-tac-toe continues. It's dumped in by St. Mary's. The Reds onto the boards. Clendenning. And the Reds will bring it down. Culligan snaps it across. And right into the corner for Gottschalk. Fired in, whistled down as it taps into a net, and we get a whistle.
So scratches for tonight for St. Mary's, number 10, Joshua Dominic, number 19, Tyler Hawes, number 21, Jeff Marchand, and number 29, Curtis Black. For UNB, Luke Lyons, Matt Fillier, Ben Schutron, of course, out with the injury for probably most of the year, and Steve Pierce, of course, filling in as an assistant coach here, which is what he has done most of the year. So those are your scratches for tonight.
Interesting to see that Gardner McDougall continues to go with precision. It's nice to see that he's out there after a prolonged absence. And Lee is back, who can be a rugged, good-sized left winger when he's down there, but nobody's coming through.
Yeah, certainly Gardner loves to have some of these players back that were missing for a good chunk of the fall, and you can certainly add Dane Todd as well to that list.
Yes, indeed. The Reds swing this one through traffic. There's Lee on the left-hand side, a little bit too far for him. Fired out around the boards. The Varsity Reds try to grab it, and St. Mary's snaps it out to the blue line, and UNB can't quite control it. St. Mary's pops that one up off the glass. Just a little bit too far for O'Donnell. And the Reds move it around to the other side. Out they come. Nice poke check, keeps the puck loose. And the Reds cross the line. McIntosh on the backhand, rolls that one right through traffic. Penalties coming up. Dane Todd just couldn't connect with that one. Gallant's got it at the point. Finally it's touched, whistled down, and Jeff Hopkins, as the referee, calls the first penalty of the night.
Yeah, number 77, Chris McKinnon's going to go off there. Mike elbow down behind the UNB net, and not what you call a very good penalty. Coaches don't like to see those. When you look at the power play for UNB, coming in here tonight, 19.8%, almost 20%. Not bad. The one thing Gardner wants the guys to do is try and get a few more shots than what he's been seeing the last few games.
Bailey wins that face-off. St. Mary's has gone into that defensive shell, and UNB can't penetrate it at the moment. They move the puck around. Bailey now. Waiting. Back to the point. There's a shot. Oh. Wow. Right in from the point, and we haven't seen Gallant let too many go like that.
Yeah, and I just mentioned a second ago, Mike, that Gardner wanted more shots. And in the last game here, some of the fans were getting kind of antsy because UNB moving the puck around, not getting a lot of shots. What you see right there is a great, I guess you could say, solution to that problem, and that is whenever you get the puck back to the point, drive it at the net. And now it's just a real blister from Gallant in off the goalpost, and perfect shot.
The penalty was at 17:36, the goal at 17:23. 13 seconds into that power play, Gallant makes it a 1-0 game. Bailey. UNB taking it to the net once again. That's precision. But St. Mary's takes it up inside their own zone. That's Wallingford. Swings it across to the far side. McNeil can't get his stick on it. It's bounced out of play.
The other thing we're seeing here very early, Mike, a lot of physical bumps and bruises and a lot of bodies taken on the boards. And I get a sense here tonight, both of these teams, even though they can play pretty much a run-and-gun play type of play, they're bringing a bit of a physical game here, maybe a little more than what we're used to seeing these two teams play.
Tanaka and Seymour on the face-off, and Seymour drives it back. UNB taps it into the St. Mary's zone. And the Huskies swing this one right around, back to the point. UNB trying to control it. They're playing even strength. Ryan Seymour's in there. Again, right in there. I just can't explain that one. Seymour passed that one forward. Corcoran was right there and put it in.
Beautiful tic-tac-toe there by a couple guys that you normally don't look for that tic-tac-toe out of. And that was Seymour to Corcoran, and I'll tell you, right in the slot. And right now you've got St. Mary's reeling. And you saw a couple of the D back there just a second ago talking to Neil Conway, trying to say, hey, let you down there, big guy. We're leaving too many guys standing alone. And that's your problem right there, Mike. Your D have got to pick those guys up.
Well, they didn't pick up Corcoran on that one, Pearlie, and he banged that one home. I don't think anybody in the house was expecting that to go in. But it did, and it's a 2-0 game now from Seymour. I expected Seymour to do some running of guys through the boards, not to be a playmaker. I'm guilty. Fired in by the Varsity Reds, and the Huskies move it around to the other side and then dump it out into the neutral zone. Hardy intercepts. 2-0 if you've just joined us. 16:30. Corcoran scoring an even strength goal from Ryan Seymour, and Gallant scoring on a power play goal 13 seconds into the power play. 2-0 UNB leading. You're joining us at the Aiken Center in Fredericton. A very snowy night, a blizzard going on outside, an old-fashioned blizzard. So as you look around, there aren't very many fans here in the house. Puck is knocked down. St. Mary's can't quite keep it in. They'll have to touch up. And the Reds will clear it and move it out down to the ice. That's Lee. Rolls it in. Dane Todd is with him, a little bit too far. And Rorabeck tries to bring it out now for the Huskies. You're joining us on SSN Canada at the Aiken Centre in Fredericton. Mike and Pearlie and Gary bringing you tonight's game. McIntosh gets into a little bit of a scuffle. He's going to get a penalty. High stick or slashing on that one.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, St. Mary's, Danton got away with a knee there to the UNB player a moment ago, and that's the kind of play you really don't like to see. And just right after that, McIntosh is going to go off here for 2 minutes. St. Mary's got a little bit of a break on that one, and you hear the coaches over there talking, and one of the points I'm sure he's making is, guys, hey, got to be a little more careful with that kind of play. For St. Mary's, power play here, a chance to hopefully get back in this game.
McIntosh gone for high sticking. St. Mary's has the chance to get in. UNB clears it way back down the ice. And a little chance for us to say hello to Lachlan McIntosh's parents, running that pub up in Perth Andover. And Mr. McIntosh, we hope you're feeling better. It's launched in deep. Behind the goal. McNeil tries to bang it out. UNB finally sends it down the ice. For a second there, it looked like they were just going to turn that puck over. A minute and 19 remaining to Lachlan McIntosh. He's in the penalty box for high sticking. UNB tries to pinch in. Hardy misses it. Tremblay has to go all the way back as McKinnon can't control it for the Huskies inside the UNB zone. Here's Fergus. He's been a mainstay for them for 3 or 4 years now. Tapped forward. Just into the UNB zone, and Stamler slaps it down the ice. Tremblay finally touches it, and it's whistled down offside.
So UNB's power play, we mentioned a few minutes ago, hitting around 19.8%. St. Mary's is around 21. So slightly better than UNB's power play. So certainly not in this first half of it, but generally St. Mary's have had a pretty effective power play.
And 52 seconds remain in that power play. McIntosh has gone for high sticking. Pushed in a little bit too far for Seymour to reach. St. Mary's plays it high up off the glass and out of play.
So the three big guns for St. Mary's, number 16, Andrew Hotham, 28 points. Number 14, Cam Fergus, 26. Number 77, Chris McKinnon, 24. Interesting, the top three guys on St. Mary's, 78 points between the three of them. For UNB, their three top guys, Tremblay, Culligan, and Bailey, 78 points between the three of them.
These teams are so evenly matched, and at times play a similar style. Both of these coaches like each other and respect each other, but they're big-time competitors. Both of them want to win. Be it fair to call this whole weekend a championship weekend. St. Mary's has won a championship. UNB's won a championship. St. FX is here tomorrow night. Just a couple of years ago, they won. So a weekend of champions here, and none of these teams want to lose. St. Mary's bringing that puck inside the zone. They control it. Down low, that's Strickland. To the point. Launched in deep by Wharton, off the boards. Varsity Reds send it back the other way. And now they'll try and move it out and get organized. They do some bumping on the boards. That's Ben Wright, sends it around. And the Varsity Reds finally bring it out. Now they're on the attack inside the St. Mary's zone. Jeff Lee backhands it around. Right in front of the goal is Dane Todd. But St. Mary's stick handles their way out of trouble, and they gun this one down the ice. A long way down. Brad Smith firing that one off the boards. Tremblay now trying to stick handle his way out. It's slapped back behind him. 12 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this period. It's a 2-0 game. St. Mary's has had a chance to put one in on the power play, and they come through again. Look for this shot. High and wide. Back to the point. Trapped in by McDonald. UNB outsmarts him. Out it comes around the other side. Bumping on the boards. Tremblay and Hotham. Brad Smith sends it out way down the ice. And this is Denoyer who has to send it back the other way. Now Clendenning for the Varsity Reds. Tremblay with a shot right on. And Conway, great blocker save, steered that one away and into the corner. Now they're playing hockey. Back and forth. Hardy at his own blue line. Rolls it back. 2-0 for the UNB Varsity Reds if you've just joined us. UNB scoring a power play goal and then an even strength goal, all in the first 3 minutes. Here comes PEI, Cam Fergus. Shot wide and around the boards, and the Reds will bring it out. They dump it through the neutral zone. That's Kyle Wharton. No room for him to play it. St. Mary's guns it ahead quite far. And Hardy swings it around behind the goal. Here's Bailey now, 10:50 on the clock, and Bailey crosses the line. Drop pass. McNeil, what a nice play.
Oh!
Bailey just missed. I don't know how that didn't go in.
Well, I think everyone here in the arena, Mike, figured, hey, he's got the whole open net there, and it's going to go in. And all of a sudden, there was just a big, deep breath here from everybody, and everybody was looking to see where the puck was, and the puck somehow got caught on the back of Conway's equipment. And I'll tell you, that was a big save for St. Mary's. Trailing 2-0 here, Mike. The last couple minutes, St. Mary's have really come to life here, and certainly a lot better pace here in the last couple minutes.
Seymour's out there again with Corcoran. And Dion Campbell. We get a slashing call. Looks like St. Mary's is called on this one, is it? Yes, it is. St. Mary's Wallingford is called for slashing.
Yeah, fine with the last couple of minutes here. St. Mary's seemed to get their legs. They didn't, they drove up today on the bus, and it's about a 4.5 hour drive in the bus, and of course in today's weather probably took a little longer than that. Sometimes it takes guys, 5-10 minutes into a period to really get the juices flowing again, and they finally do have it going here. Still a little sloppy though, and I'm sure Coach Steinberg's not very happy with some of the things he's seen.
They got to Fredericton about 4:30 this afternoon. Sometimes the coaches like to be here by noon and just let the players have a lunch and relax a little bit. But the roads are a little harem-scarum tonight, but both teams got here safely. 25 is off. That's Wallingford slashing. Minute and 35 for him. UNB's on the power play then. It's poked away from Tremblay's opportunity and shot down the ice. Travis Fullerton in goal for UNB.
Yeah, when you look at Travis tonight, comes in with a 1.80 goals against, a 921 save percentage, 10-3 record. Looks a little nervous out there almost tonight, Mike. Hasn't had a whole lot of shots, only had one shot so far, and a couple of them he just seemed to miss on or just overplay. So it's going to be interesting to watch as the night goes on as to how he does.
Yes, it will. He's their number one guy. Number two guy is Derek Yeomans.
Yeah, and Derek Yeomans has played pretty well this year, too. He's got good numbers, 1.22 goals against, 940 save percentage. That's a very respectable save percentage, and 4-1 record. So really, Gardner's been fortunate this year, with all the injuries. The one constant he's had is goaltending, and, certainly you can't complain at all about those numbers. St. Mary's, Conway's the number one guy. Comes in here, of course, 2.19 goals against, 912 save percentage, 13-5 record. Corey Chipman, the backup, struggled a little bit. Not very good numbers when you look at Corey Chipman.
UNB's got a double power play underway right now. And they're going to try and make Neil Conway give up a third goal. It's Wharton that's off for tripping, and Wallingford still has 41 seconds in his slashing penalties. UNB's got 5 skaters against 3. They work the puck down through the face-off circle, back to the blue line. Denoyer tries to roll it in a little bit deeper, and St. Mary's manages to get this puck, and they'll ride this one out. Andrew Hotham still stick handling his way through traffic. Now a penalty is going to be coming up against the Varsity Reds.
Yeah, and that's great effort there by Hotham, Mike. You got your team down for, about a minute, 2 men short, and Hotham just real good, hard work causes UNB to take a penalty, and number 57, Chris Culligan's going to go off here for 2 minutes. And that's a kind of play that makes Trevor Steinberg very happy. Gardner McDougall, of course, he's going to shake his head, and I'm sure he's going to have a talk to Culligan after that. And you hate to give up when you get a 2-man advantage in a and a penalty, some people would say just a little bit of laziness there instead of moving the feet.
Holding is the call. That all started back there with Denoyer lousing up the puck off the face-off and not controlling it and getting it in deep. So 4 skaters against 5. Culligan's gone for 2 minutes or less. St. Mary's 5-4-3 remaining in Wallingford's penalty. Meanwhile, Wharton has still got 54 seconds in his penalty. Varsity Reds still on the attack. This is Campbell. Whoa, he gets leveled. And the Huskies bring it back out quickly. 42 seconds remaining in the penalty to Wharton. Now it's fired in. The goaltender hangs on.
So Brian Cassidy sent us off an email here. Mike, we'll give a shout out to him. Brian says he usually comes to the game. With the weather outside tonight, decided to stay home. So certainly hopefully enjoying our broadcast from home. Mentioned he was here the other night, of course, to the game against PEI that went to overtime. And my reference that UNB needed more shots, it's a reference on the power play because, of course, as Brian pointed out, in that game, UNB had 51 shots. And I'll tell you, certainly Gardner had to be pleased with that. Where Gardner does want to see more shots is on his power play unit. They move the puck a lot. They don't necessarily get their shots that they'd like to get or as many shots that they want to get.
Right now, 4 skaters against 4, and the shots are 6-3. Only 20 seconds remaining in Wharton's penalty. It's fired way down the ice, a little bit too far, and it's icing.
Yeah, and Brian, one of many fans probably staying home tonight. Kind of a shame, Mike. You mentioned really this is a championship weekend. You've got St. Mary's, of course, won the CIS last year, UNB the year before, and of course St. FX a few years back. And normally you would have seen the house packed here. I'm not sure what there'll be here, maybe 500, Mike. Really, considering the night outside, it's not that bad because it is a pretty tough night out there.
Well, the words to that old song, the weather outside is frightful, and it is. Inside, we got a hockey game. 2-0, though, the Reds lead. St. Mary's controls it. That penalty's expired. Now they let the first shot go. UNB's got it. That's McNeil. Bailey is with him through traffic. Bad pass, and it goes to Colby Pridham, who can make things happen. He sends it up to Cam Fergus. Just a little bit too far for Fergus, and UNB can't clear it. Hardy gets it to the blue line, but it doesn't go out. Hotham fires it through traffic. UNB steers it away and bounces all the way back down the ice for Dave McDonald, who tries to move it up to Hotham. Hardy can't get his stick on it. That's McNeil. 15 seconds remaining in the penalty to Culligan. Tremblay from a big distance out rips one. It's wide of the goal. Tremblay, one of the goal scorers, one of the guys you can count on. Just about every game gets a goal or a point. Shot in from the point, and the Varsity Reds can't quite control this one. St. Mary's has scooped it up. They let a weak shot go on a bad angle, but had the goaltender jumping for attention on that one. Back to the point, ripped in quickly by Tyler Cuthbert. Blocked, and the Varsity Reds launch it ahead. Culligan didn't know it was coming, and he's up for checking now. The Reds control this puck. Wow. Lachlan McIntosh, all the patience in the world, knew the goaltender was down and fired it up high. Yeah, 6:23, sorry, Pearlie.
Yeah, and the one fault, Mike, of St. Mary's here early in this game, 6:23 left here in the first period. It's defensive giveaways, and that's about the 6th real bad defensive giveaway that I've seen this period, and that one really cost them. They simply, UNB took the puck away, and McIntosh walked out front and had all kinds of time to get Conway down, and really not a whole lot Conway could do. And UNB 3-0 here now on St. Mary's, and you can't really fault Conway in any of these. Not getting a lot of help from his D right now.
Defenseman Brad Smith sends that one out, and down the ice, Kyle Wharton trying to chip it forward for St. Mary's. It's poked out, whistled down, finally 6 minutes and 5. And you're right, Pearlie, the defense are just wondering what's coming at them. Yeah,
and right now, Mike, and you look up at the score clock, 3-0 lead for UNB over St. Mary's, but really maybe the stat that really stands out is 7 shots UNB have had, and they've had 3 goals. And simply not really good defense in front of Conway here, and really shaky. And I'm sure if Trevor can get through the next 6 minutes and 5 seconds, he's got to try and calm his D down, and they need to get back in this game.
Well, they've got to work through 6 minutes for the rest of the period and 2 minutes in the penalty to Corcoran, who's gone for slashing. A little incident there on the boards. 3-0 UNB has the lead. This is Hotham. Certainly has been one of the stars for this St. Mary's team since he joined it a few years ago. He and his brother. Hardy moves this forward to Bailey, crosses the blue line, lets the shot go. That's off McDonald's stick. Bailey fighting for it against Chris McKinnon in the boards. 5:26 to go in this period. 1:20 remaining in Corcoran's penalty. Bounced out. The Reds control it. This is Culligan. He lets the shot go. And Neil Conway hangs right onto that one. Pearly?
Yeah, when you look at the period, next 5 minute winds down, Mike, the two words that Trevor Steinberg is going to, I'm sure, be using a lot in his intermission and talk to the boys. Discipline. They're taking way too many penalties in this period. It's getting the flow of the game off. And the other thing is defense or lack thereof. Those are going to be the two D words, and words are going to come up probably pretty often.
That's O'Donnell fighting for it for St. Mary's. Comes back to the blue line, and they slap it right back in. Again to the blue line, driven back in again by Wallingford. St. Mary's trying to control it inside the UNB zone, and the UNB sends it way back down the ice. It beat Wallingford. He wasn't expecting it to come out. 45 seconds remaining in this period, in this penalty to Corcoran. 4:44 in the period. Wallingford snaps that one in on the left-hand side. Tanaka in to pick it up. Now on the boards to Kyle Wharton. Drives it in deep. Tanaka's behind the goal. Trying to move it around and get some St. Mary's offense on the boards. Held there. Josh Kidd. Now Tanaka. Wings that one in just a little bit too far for Wharton. It comes all the way back, and the Huskies dump it in once again. On the boards, that's Josh Kidd. The penalty's just about expired. Wallingford puts it right onto a Varsity Red stick. Corcoran just a little bit too far. And boy, he nearly poke-checked that away from Neil Conway with a great scoring chance, but he was in a little too close to just make it happen. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this opening period. It's a 3-0 game. McIntosh, Corcoran, and Gallant are the goal scorers for the Varsity Reds. Precision has it poked away. Too far for Dane Todd. It back to the blue line, ripped all the way back in. Dane Todd fighting for it on the back line against the boards. They're just holding that puck. Nobody wants to give an inch down there. Look at this. What a battle between him and McDonald. McDonald moves it with his hand. And the Reds continue to control it. Todd will be tired after this shift, I'll tell you. Todd to the point. They move it to the other side and can't control it. St. Mary's picks it up, stick handling across the blue line and bringing it in. Smith, shot right on, and Travis Fullerton isn't going to give up a rebound. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Travis hasn't seen a whole lot of shots, only 4 up until now. Looked a little bit shaky out there. I don't think he's really got his sort of flow or get on a tempo here tonight yet.
3-0 is the score. That's Fullerton. He's their number 1 guy. And by the way, we would love to hear from you wherever you are on the World Wide Web. theredshockey@gmail.com. The big stuff being bumped on the board. St. Mary's ends up coming up with the puck, and the Reds intercept. They bring this one out quickly. Big breakout to McLaughlin. Bailey can't get his stick on it. A little bit of line juggling tonight by Gardner as he tries guys in different opportunities. Looks like there's going to be a penalty, and I think it's going to be called to UNB. Elbowing, and is it McIntosh that's going to get it?
Yeah, I think you're right there, Mike. It was a real scrum there behind the net, and it was almost hard to tell who would get that. More than one elbow floating around down there, but, no, it's not. Number 20. It's Justin Munden's going to go off for 2 minutes. I was like you, Mike. I thought maybe Bailey, but Justin Munden actually is going to the box for 2 minutes.
I'm surprised it was a St. Mary's penalty, quite honestly, but, UNB will take it, I guess.
Yeah, right now St. Mary's, really they've had about 4 good minutes in this first period, and the rest of the time they just seem to be struggling. Not their A game that we're used to seeing here. Just don't seem to have that jump.
St. Mary's sends the puck way down the ice as they've got Munden in the penalty box for another minute and 49 seconds. The Reds trying to break it out. Nobody seems to be able to really control this puck here tonight. Neil Conway bats that one behind the goal. St. Mary's launches it way down the ice, right onto the UNB goaltender. A minute and 50 remaining in this period. 3-0 game. St. Mary's will be talking long and hard in their dressing room about having some grit, being tougher in front of the net. And bounced out and way down. St. Mary's is now killed off 45 seconds out of that 2-minute penalty. Munden's gone for elbowing. There's only a minute and 25 seconds remaining in the period, and a minute and 3 remaining in that penalty. Whistle down, but I'm not sure why.
Too many men
penalty.
Too many men on the ice, I would say.
Well, yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it?
Or
Yeah.
Is it, I don't know, is it too many
Or was there a comment from the bench?
Yeah, I think it's too many men on the ice.
That's they were in the
It's a
process
bad
of
change.
changing, and the puck was on this side of the ice. I wouldn't have called that.
Yeah, just I think one too many, and happened in the UNB zone there, and guys in the process of changing. So
Let's listen for the house announcer. Too many players. Clendenning is serving it. UNB is still pressing that puck forward with only a minute to go in the period. Bailey's on the ice. Now McNeil intercepted by St. Mary's and launched way back down the ice. UNB about to make another change and quickly slammed the door just as the puck went by. So Hardy behind his own goal starts out now with 40 seconds to go in the period. 18 seconds in the St. Mary's penalty. It's rolled right through, and Stickland is right there to make sure there's no rebound.
Yeah, and on that penalty, Mike, it's pretty much what you said. It's one of those calls that some nights referees will let go when you're doing a change in your own zone, and you're at the same time you're bringing the puck out of your zone, and that door is open, and one guy's getting ready to step on, one guy's getting ready to step off. And some nights they call it, some nights they don't. And in that particular case, the referee blew the whistle.
So 29 seconds to go. 6 seconds remaining in the St. Mary's penalty. And right onto the goaltender, he decides he's going to hang right onto that one.
Yeah, 26 seconds left here, and this is a part of the period. Coaches will tell you the first minute of the period, the last minute of a period. Those you just want to sort of shut it down. You don't want to give up a goal. So for UNB here now, you got 26.4 seconds left in what's certainly been a good period. 3-0 lead for UNB here. So you just want to play defense here and get the puck down the ice.
UNB makes a change, and Bailey wins that face-off. Now he's on the attack, launches this one in, right onto the goaltender, steered away by Conway. Only 12 seconds remaining in the period. St. Mary's is back to full strength. St. Avex is in tomorrow night, of course. St. Mary's launches this one in on the backhand. The whistle blows. And everybody on the ice is glad to see the whistle blow, and they get the end of the regulation time in this period. Curly?
Well, Mike, I'll tell you, if you're Trevor Steinberg, you're going to go to the dressing room here, and it's going to be really quiet, probably, based on my experience, for the first probably minute and a half. And Trevor's going to probably pace back and forth, and then he's going to have a long, hard talk with the boys. And, as I mentioned, probably the 2 D words are going to get mentioned a lot. Discipline. They've got to be a lot more disciplined. They're getting too many penalties. And in this league, specialty teams are so critical. You can't be giving up a lot of penalties. The other word he's going to talk a lot about is defense. And I mentioned earlier that their defense goals against is a little worse than UNB, but not that bad. But to give up 3 goals in the first 7 shots and to get yourself in a hole very quickly, not good defense in their own zone. Simply UNB just a couple steps ahead of them.
Well, here's the clock, and you can see UNB still 38 seconds to go when we come back. And a 3-0 lead, shots are 10-5. There's the new mascot that's out there, and you'll know more about him as we move closer and closer to the Nationals. We've only got 2 games left, Pearly.
Yeah, tomorrow night we have St. FX in town, and as you say, that's always a great game. Whenever St. FX come to town, a lot of history between these 2 clubs. And then the last home game of the season against St. Thomas, that'll be the Mark Jeffrey game, and that'll be a packed house, I'm sure.
And UNB's got a few more on the road, but we'll be bringing you the other 2 games, and then hopefully as we move into the playoffs, we'll be bringing all those as well. The Nationals are held here. If you haven't got your tickets, you want to be getting onto them pretty quick. I understand they're going very, very quickly.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of tickets left. There's a few, of course, but I'll tell you, that's going to be a great few days here in the city of Fredericton. A lot of folks from out of town, a lot of our UNB fans that follow our broadcast have emailed us and told us if they're coming to town. A lot of folks from all over Canada, the U.S., and of course a listener or 2 from England that Sharon French that follows us as well. It's great hockey. It's a great time. It's a great social time. It's a good time to sort of network and meet a lot of your friends.
Absolutely, and folks, if you want to send us an email, it's theredshockey @gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Tonight would be the night, and we'd love to be able to say we can give you prizes or anything like that, but we just aren't quite that lucky. But if you come and you're letting us know that you're coming, we'll buy the coffee. That's the standing invitation that we make. V-Reds Hockey, we would love to hear from you on a very snowy night in Fredericton. Hope to see you soon, and we'll be back with period number 2. Probably not. It's right now 5 skaters against 4. UNB's got a man in the penalty box for too many men in the ice. That's 38 seconds remaining. And it's Jordan Clendenning that's serving it. So Bailey wins the face-off once again. Bailey's been very consistent here tonight on the face-offs, as he always is. St. Mary's guns this one in, way around behind Fullerton. Stamler plays it for the Varsity Reds to the blue line, and fired way down the ice by the Varsity Reds as they try to kill off some time. And the Huskies are on the power play for only 10 more seconds. They fire this one down. Hotham will chase it. It's icing, though. And 6 seconds remain in that penalty.
Yeah, and I mentioned in the first period, Mike, about power play and trying to get opportunities. And coaches, of course, nowadays with all the statistical programs, computer programs, there's so many stats you can go through. And it was really interesting to get the stats at the end of that period. And I had talked in the period about opportunities on the power play. And to give an example, UNB had 3 power plays in that period, so they had 3 opportunities. They had 1 shot, scored 1 goal. So when I talked about needing more shots, that's the kind of stats that coaches look at. St. Mary's, by the way, they had 4 opportunities, no shots, no goals. So as well, Trevor Steinberg's going to look at that, and he's going to talk to his guys and say, we need to move the puck better, we need to get some shots. If you don't score, you don't shoot. Pretty old-fashioned. Pretty true.
The old rule. And so right off the face-off, it's shot into the UNB zone. The penalty's expired, and the Varsity Reds bring it out. That's Clendenning now. He's out of the penalty box. Culligan's with him. Culligan fighting for it in the corner, has it taken away. And St. Mary's will launch it way down the ice once again. You're joining us on SSN Canada. We'd love to hear from you. theredshockey@gmail.com.
And the internet is so great, Mike, because folks out there listening to us every night, we hear from sometimes some of the same folks, sometimes different people. Brian Cassidy just sent us a note a couple minutes ago and said, if you're Gardner, now that you've got a 3-0 lead, you sit back and play a defensive type hockey. A lot of coaches do, but not Gardner. Gardner's the type of guy that he'll keep coming at you strong the next 2 periods.
And I don't think you would dare with this St. Mary's team because they can break out at any given time. Penalties called. I think it's going to be hooking against UNB right there at the blue line.
Yeah, and it's always interesting, there's so many different philosophies and strategies. You can't say one's right or wrong. Sometimes you get hockey teams that are very defensive type teams. And yeah, if you get a 3-0 lead, sometimes and you watch the NHL all the time, you'll get the teams that if they're up 3-0, they'll really tighten it up defensively. And they go into that shell. Of course, the Fury always have, you go in too much of a shell and you play too much defense, you're not creating any offense, you're playing too much time in your own zone, you give up a goal. And as you just mentioned, St. Mary's, you got a lot of offense. You really don't dare to sit back at this point.
And 3 of them are on the ice right now. That's Hotham, of course, and Fergus. And Gottschalk can crank them in as well. So this St. Mary's team certainly has the power to score. Fergus on the face-off against Bailey. Bailey wins it and draws it back, and the Varsity Reds launch it way back down the ice. Down to Neil Conway, who's got to play it. 18 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Lee is in the penalty box, hooking that little scruffle that took place at the blue line, the St. Mary's blue line just a second ago. Sent around to Bretton Stamler. He can't quite get his stick on it. And so Tanaka fires it in and tries to move it back in deeper. St. Mary's plays tough on the boards, as we've seen here tonight. Hotham sends that one way back in, and Chris McKinnon trying to get there. Bailey chips it out. No defense for St. Mary's. So they have to hurry back into their own zone under pressure and clear the puck out. Only 1:05 remaining in that penalty to lead. Shot in. And St. Mary's tries to go get it. That's Cam Fergus up doing the forechecking. Varsity Reds will swing it out. Bailey moves it way down across the ice. They make some changes. St. Mary's Huskies make some changes too. Fired across the ice. This time to Colby Pridham, who shoots it in around the dasher board. O'Donnell to Culligan, picked up. Here's Tremblay. He's the only Varsity Red on the attack. Crosses the line, kills off another couple of seconds, loses the puck. St. Mary's nearly had a breakaway there as Stickland was all by himself at the blue line. 16:55 remaining in this period. St. Mary's has got it inside the UNB zone. 16 seconds remaining in the penalty. Back to the point. That's Wharton. He's got it. 10 seconds. Shot, but it's wide. It comes back off the backboard. Wing this one in, also wide. Rebound goes to the guys in white, and they're controlling this puck right now. Finally, the Varsity Reds send it way down the ice. That's Lee, uses his speed to get out of the penalty box, pick it up. Culligan, nice chance, puts it right out there for Campbell, but he couldn't connect. And St. Mary's brings the puck back the other way as the intensity of this game has just picked up. That's Gallant. As UNB taps this one forward and they can't control it, St. Mary's has got it now and snapping it out. Almost like somebody switched on a hockey game here, Pearlie.
Yeah, certainly much better tempo in this period by St. Mary's.
That's Campbell. He's in fighting for it. Can't pick it up. The Huskies send it out down the ice and they can't control it. That's Corcoran. Sometimes we see him as a defenseman. Sometimes we see him as a forward. Great skater. Gives that to Stamler. Lets the shot go. Neil Conway hangs right on.
Yeah, to go back to the comment Brian Cassidy was talking about, does UNB, go into any type of defensive shell? The one thing you might see a little bit of on the UNB's part is that the D, whether or not they jump up into the play quite as often. One thing I've noticed tonight here, they don't, UNB's D, for folks that follow the club a lot, they love to jump up into the play. It's not uncommon at all to see a guy like Jonathan Hardy up in around the net. Tonight I've noticed we haven't seen the D probably be quite as aggressive as they might some nights. And we might see a little more of a conservative style here. Again, partially too because you're playing a very good offensive team. You can't cheat quite as much or play as deep.
And there's a reason why, and you see the speed of that St. Mary's team as they fire the puck down the ice, and the little Greyhounds just couldn't quite connect with it.
So we're back here tomorrow night, same time, same place, against St. Francis Xavier X-Men. And, when you look at the standings, I'll tell you they're not very far behind St. Mary's right now, 4 points. So, again, if St. Mary's happens to lose tonight, St. FX wins, all of a sudden each of these games now gets so critical.
UNB is 30. St. Mary's has 27. And I think St. FX, you were telling me, has 23. Every game and every period is an important one. 3-0, the Varsity Reds have got the lead in this game. That's McIntosh, takes a bump on the boards for his efforts. but ends up with the puck on a breakaway as he's getting hooked and harassed. He's got a goal here tonight. He lets a second shot go. Back to the point, and Ben Wright will launch this one back in. The Huskies intercept and send it out through to the neutral zone. 14 and a half minutes to go in this second period. The shots 13-6 for the Varsity Reds. Bloodoff sends that one down the ice. Just a little bit too far for O'Keefe. And Tremblay will pick it up. Helped by Culligan. Intercepted. And Culligan has to back check. Gets it, and out he comes. Skating hard. Crosses the line just a little bit too far, and it's whistled down offside.
So 3-0 lead here for UNB. 14:08 left here in the second. 13-6 shots on goal. We're seeing a little more life here in this period by St. Mary's, Mike. Still not getting a lot of good penetration on much for shots on the way of Fullerton, but certainly a little more than they did in the first.
Now, neither of these teams seems to be parking a man in front and making the play. The play is all in the corners, really, hasn't it been? Now, see, there's a shot right in front. No Varsity Red there to get a rebound. The puck is cleared out. The Varsity Reds touch up. Clendenning doing the forechecking. Launched out through the neutral zone. Poked back to the blue line. And St. Mary's swings it back to their point. That's Cuthbert. 13-40. St. Mary's taps this one really far forward. Stickland is watched by Tremblay. Gallant sends it around the boards. Kept in by Cuthbert. And St. Mary's controlling it nicely inside the UNB zone at this moment. Varsity Reds try to get their stick on it. Pat O'Keefe in fighting for the Huskies. Right out through to Tremblay. Touches it in the neutral zone, launches it in. UNB makes some changes. Whistle down, though, and here's some stuff behind the play. Let's have a look. That's O'Keefe and Denoyer. Denoyer, the new guy, drops him in a wrestling match. No gloves on the ice, so probably no fighting penalties. That was O'Keefe, and the two of them said some nasty things to each other, and then Denoyer gave him a noogie.
Yeah, and I'm sure someone probably pointed out to Denoyer when he came here to play hockey in the AUS that, of course, there's severe consequences for fighting. So, as you pointed out, Mike, the gloves stayed on, and I guess maybe a little more of a wrestling match than anything else.
Denoyer and O'Keefe. Neither one of them pleased with the outcome. Denoyer ended up on top, and O'Keefe, you can see, is still not real happy about this.
Yeah, for UNB, the nicety that Gardner has to work with, of course, he has a little more depth than he did before Christmas. So all of a sudden, if you lose one of your D, you got a few more guys there on the bench. Before Christmas, he was getting to the point he had so many guys injured that you'd lose a D like Denoyer for a while, and the bench is getting kind of short. Not very happy with that. He's having a good discussion right now, chewing on the gum.
The referee, Jeff Hopkins, over explaining to both of the coaches what the deal is. Now, neither one of them are on the board. Should be coincidental minors for roughing. No mark on the board. So let's find out here when the house announcer says something. I'm not sure about the 10-minute misconduct, but maybe he felt it was necessary.
Just more than anything, maybe just to give him a chance to go and cool off.
So coincidental minors and then the misconduct, and they'll each be gone for the major part of this period. 13 minutes to go in this period. It's a 3-0 game. That was O'Keefe and Denoyer. Shot through traffic. Gottschalk on the backhand, puts that right onto Travis Fullerton, and he hangs right on.
Nice email here a moment ago, Mike, from Aaron Rumbold and Kerry Bowman. A couple of very loyal V-Reds fans get caught in the storm in Moncton. So as they say, better safe than sorry, so they stayed put. Enjoying the broadcast tonight.
Thank you.
And tell us that they'll certainly be here tomorrow night to watch the V-Reds take on the X-Men.
Drive safely, you guys. Nice to have you wherever you are on the World Wide Web. Send us an email, vreds.hockey at gmail.com. Mike and Pearlie and Gary bringing you tonight's game. A 3-0 game that the UNB took the lead on early in the period, and then have made St. Mary's backpedal ever since. St. Mary's hasn't really had a threatening chance on goal, have they, Pearlie?
Not really, Mike.
That's Corcoran in through traffic, shovels that one right on, and Neil Conway hangs on. Some more rough stuff. Corcoran. And I'm not so sure that might not have been Justin Munden. And here's some more. Hardy giving a face wash to Cam Fergus. Ooh, Hardy.
Yeah, and the guys are getting a little feisty here in both parts. Certainly if you're St. Mary's, you're a little frustrated. Not happy about being down 3-0 here. Trying to get some more emotion maybe into the game. Trying to get something going. After UNB doesn't back down from anyone. So here we see Stamler now involved over there. We see Hardy involved again.
Yep, Stamler and Bloodoff having more than a few words to each other.
Seymour over there is doing the dance.
Now the two linesmen tonight, interestingly, Brad Jenkins is a firefighter, Stefan DeCourcy is a city police officer. They're both tough enough guys, but they're just, Jenkins is the taller of the two, and Stefan DeCourcy is the police officer on the right-hand side with the UNB Stamler in his grip. Both of them having a hard time steering those big bodies back to the bench. Well, there'll be some work on the scoreboards now to see what's up with that. Denoyer and O'Keefe roughing and a 10-minute misconduct from the last one. And this one, I'm not sure who's going to be gone and who isn't.
Yeah, this one's going to take a little while to sort out here. There are 3 or 4 different pairs that you could call. Not a lot of flow to this second period here. 12:09 left here, number 2, 3-0 nothing lead for UNB over St. Mary's. And, I guess maybe just a little bit of frustration boiling over here.
While we're seeing the two captains having a talk, up on the board, an extra 2 minutes to the visitors here. So St. Mary's has got a penalty for something. As you can see, it looks like it's a bench call.
Yeah, this one we're going to have to wait till the announcer calls it, because I'll tell you, there are 4 or 5 different pairs that you could have called there, and you could have called them for a variety of different offenses, so to speak.
Well, the good thing about this is guys that don't ordinarily get a chance to skate are going to be out there doing some playing. And I can see why. Honestly, I can see why Gardner McDougall is putting Ryan Seymour out there on a fairly regular basis to add some toughness. But he wasn't the guy in the mix-up. Back to the face-off. It's Bailey and Cam Fergus. Bailey wins it. We'll wait for the explanation. Here's Bailey on the attack. Drop pass. They swing it across the ice. Tremblay shoots it in off a stick up to the protective netting, and it's whistled down once again. Here's the call. So Munden gets 2 minutes, and then Bloodoff gets 10. Corcoran got 2 minutes, and who was the UNB player that got 10? Sometimes I can't hear. It's my advanced age.
Couldn't hear that last one.
At 11:20, and then St. Mary's, too many men on the ice as the referee was about to drop the puck. So
yeah, and that's really the difference in the two teams' call.
So really, that's a referee's mistake where he did not communicate to the coaches how many players he was allowed to have on and who was penalized at that time. Ooh. At the blue line, it's poked out by St. Mary's all the way back to the UNB zone. Luke Gallant scoops it up. UNB makes some changes. The door is still open. Gallant fires it in. 5 skaters in red against 4 in white for another 41 seconds. This one back in behind Travis Fullerton, behind his goal. The Reds start out again. bring this out through the neutral zone. 32 seconds remaining in the penalty. That's Dane Todd. As the Reds get this one in, and Neil Conway steered it into the corner. Here's the Varsity Reds in the corner, trying to control it. McNeil swings it to the other side and drifted in again. Conway, a great pad save. And St. Mary's sends this one way down the ice, behind the UNB goalie. 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this period. It's a 3-0 game. You're joining us on SSN Canada. I'm Mike. Hurley's doing color commentary. Gary, our technical advisor and cameraman, here tonight. Rorabeck starts out. Drop pass. They launch this one in. Nice save by Fullerton. Cleared around behind the UNB goal. St. Mary's has got it. They poke it right through. How did that one stay out? Penalty going to come up against UNB. Again, another shot. The goaltender gets smacked in the process. St. Mary's goaltender is gone. They've got the extra attacker on the ice and still controlling this puck. Working it in through traffic. McKinnon. He can't control it, but swings it around far to the other side to Pridham. They dump it in deep. That's McKinnon. And he finally gets held there by Ben Wright. UNB is going in the penalty box.
Yeah, play's getting real spirited, both ends really here, Mike. And I'll tell you right there, as you said a moment ago, probably the best opportunity St. Mary's has had this period. And not sure how UNB and Fullerton kept that one out, but they did. Big save by Fullerton, really hugging the post and come up with what I'd say probably his best save of the game.
Hardy's gone for 2 for hooking. In that little melee that happened, they're right in front of the goal. And as you said, St. Mary's' best chance really so far here tonight.
Yeah,
Still 3-0. Hurley?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. And this is a real key power play for St. Mary's. They're finally get some tempo here. They need to get some shots here, Mike. They need to get a goal here. 3-0 lead by UNB, and you're halfway through the game. St. Mary's, I'm sure they'd like to get a little momentum back here.
Puck was touched by a glove on the bench, so it's whistled down immediately out of play. Bailey taking the face off. He's whistled out. And Tremblay will have to take the face off back to the blue line. David McDonald rolls it ahead for the Huskies. Tremblay up doing the forechecking. Finally steered out, touched again by the St. Mary's players. And UNB saying, you know, this face-off has to be outside. It was touched by St. Mary's glove.
Yeah, and it will be. And
well, that's 20 feet of breathing room for the Varsity Reds.
Yeah, and the referees having a little discussion there with the linesman, and I think maybe some great communication there, Mike.
Nine minutes and 12 to go. John Hardy's got another minute and 44 on his penalty. He's gone for hooking. Probably a good defensive penalty, as St. Mary's was buzzing the net. And Hardy had to make sure somebody wasn't going to get an advantage. Off the glass, it's fired out into the neutral zone. Hotham brings it back. St. Mary's continues to control it. This is Fergus. They dump it down low, round the other side. All UNB has to do is send it down the ice. There's 2 of them. This is McIntosh. Backhand taken away by the goaltender, and the puck net knocked off its moorings by St. Mary's Huskies.
Yeah, and McIntosh couldn't quite get enough jump on the St. Mary's defenseman to get a good, clean breakaway there. And just at the last minute, a nice play by the D to really take his feet out. It might have been a call there, but probably not a bad play. And I think really not enough to justify a call. And for UNB, though, minute and 15 left in this penalty so far, Mike. They're doing a pretty good penalty kill.
That was McIntosh. He's got a goal and an assist according to the official score sheet, and both on the same goal, which we know is impossible, but that's just a mistake. McIntosh nearly setting up that second goal, taken away by the St. Mary's defense. It's launched in now by St. Mary's. Taps a stick, and it's out of play.
Yeah, and that was the second partial breakaway, I guess maybe is the best way to describe it, that McIntosh has had here in the first period and a half. Certainly he's playing very well tonight.
Very snowy night in Fredericton. If you have to drive more than 2 or 3 minutes, stay home. We got a blizzard going on. They canceled school early. 25 years that I've been teaching school, that's done once before. You know, to send the kids home early is unheard of. To the blue line, rolled right in, launched in through traffic, and the goaltender has to hang right onto that one. St. Mary's inadvertently falling on top of the Travis Fullerton, who was down and protecting the puck.
Yeah, Chris McKinnon got a stick on that. Really nice deflection. Just deflected it a little bit towards, just didn't have enough really momentum on to get it by Fullerton, but right idea.
Exactly 8 minutes to go in this period. It's a 3-0 game. Hardy's got 31 seconds remaining. He's gone for hooking. This is interesting. Campbell had his stick down, and he gets waved out of the faceoff circle, but he didn't move. You know, that's so Seymour now waved out. Corcoran. Had there been a third time, of course, the referee's within his rights to call a delay of game. So UNB loses that face-off. It's launched in through traffic. St. Mary's touches it with their stick, pops in. Rorabeck was Johnny on the spot on the crease, and it went in, and it all started with that errant face-off.
Yeah, and a nice power play goal for St. Mary's. Rorabeck, number 13 rather, will get the credit for that goal. And it just, as you say, started on the face-off. UNB losing the face-off, back to the point. Nice little snap up to Rorabeck, right in all by himself, and a really nice little deflection. Not a whole lot Fuller can do on that one.
There was only about 20 seconds remaining in the penalty to Hardy, and Rorabeck taps that one in. Now it's a 3-1 game. You watch St. Mary's come to life now. They control the puck inside the UNB zone. It's whistled down. Shots are 15-12. Just a little while ago, it was what, 10-3, 10-5?
Yeah. And, you know, as I mentioned a minute ago, St. Mary's needed something to get that momentum back and get a little bit of life. They just didn't seem to be able to get anything going here. And all of a sudden now, Mike, you're 3-1. There's 7:35 left in the second. All kinds of times, especially if you've got a lot of offense.
Just a little bit too far for Bailey. He can't control it. Neither can Precision. UNB trying to get it on the boards. Whistle down, and it looks like we're getting another roughing call. I think this one against UNB. And Hardy having a couple of words there, and I think with Mike Danton. I'm not sure if Danton didn't get away with another one.
Yeah, and Danton's got away with a few here tonight. I don't know how you describe Danton's play. He's a very chippy player. He's one of these guys that likes to get under the skin of players, and he's pretty good at it, pretty good at taking the guy, maybe giving a little bit of a stick or a little bit of a knee, and of course Hardy has a short string, and he didn't like that, so he retaliated. He's the one that got called.
So Hardy's gone for roughing for 2 minutes or less. 7:24 to go. That's Hardy's second penalty within a couple of shifts. 3-1 is the score now. The referee just having a little talk with the light judge. Referee is Jeff Hopkins. He's only called a few penalties tonight, but the last one, Hardy for roughing, and then Hardy just previous to that for hooking, was the one that allowed the power play goal by St. Mary's. You're joining us at the Aiken Center in Fredericton. Mike and Pearlie and Gary bringing you tonight's game. Thrown around the boards by Gallant. UNB will try to chip this one forward. Ben Wright has it taken away from him, sent the other way, and back to Hotham at the point for St. Mary's. As St. Mary's on the power play, they launch this one in wide. Rorabeck shoots that one, taken away by the defense. Rorabeck, another chance. St. Mary's, another one, right on the doorstep. There was Sean O'Donnell. Rorabeck's got it again. He's got the first goal now for St. Mary's. Gives it to Hotham. 6:55 to go. Shot right on. Travis Fullerton. No rebound.
And I'll tell you, what a beautiful save by Fullerton on Sean O'Donnell. I'll tell you, Sean O'Donnell alone at the side of the net, Mike, and Fullerton was over to the other side. I'll tell you, I don't know how Fullerton got that pad down. He got it down real quick, and he just snapped it over, and I'll tell you, that's a real game saver there.
Yes, it is. Still 3-1. That's Josh Kidd trying to fight it and play it on the board. St. Mary's comes up with it. 2 guys down. UNB launches this one to the crowd in an effort to just settle things down. UNB panicking a little bit with the shots in front of the goal.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Mike. UNB right now just they seem to be panicking. They're just not staying focused. They're not staying on their man. They're starting to run around. They need to settle down here. 1:19 left in the penalty to Jonathan Hardy. They just need to settle down here, get the puck out. Oh, what a bad giveaway.
Tremblay can't get it out past Hotham, and he launches it back in. Hotham's got it again on the left-hand side, moving it around from the face-off circle. 20 feet out, launches that one, hits Fullerton in the upper body. It drops down, and he gloves that one.
You know, and this is the kind of time, Mike, you almost wonder about, should Gardner call a timeout and try and settle the guys down? I know he's not going to, because coaches like to save those till the end. But you've got a team here now that's just seemed to have lost their focus. We saw Tremblay give the puck away there. Oh, really bad pass right back to the D. And, that's something, of course, normally you'll never see. So UNB just have to settle down here.
UNB makes some changes. St. Mary's doesn't. And they continue to put pressure on. This one bounces out off the blue line, and Bailey will chase it down. Bailey's got it. Ooh, and he fans on that one. Bumped in the process by Mike Stickland. Bailey nearly a chance to launch one right at the goaltender, with the goaltender a little bit off balance. St. Mary's brings it back. Rorbeck, drop pass for Hotham. He'll try and wrap this one around right in front. That's O'Donnell. Another chance. And going to block the shot, Nick McNeil sends that puck up into the protective netting, and we get a whistle once again.
And I'll tell you, another great save by Fullerton on O'Donnell. O'Donnell's had 2 gilt-edged opportunities here, Mike, in this one power play. I'll tell you, Fullerton has come up big on those 2. And I'll tell you, O'Donnell, nice, nifty move on that one.
Now, if you're going to talk about how the tide has turned, the shots are now 18-15 in favor of St. Mary's Huskies. UNB was out shooting them at one point by nearly 10 shots. There's another shot launched in. The Varsity Reds will chip it out through to the neutral zone, and then they chase this one. McIntosh, it's a little too far for him. Seymour taps it forward. That's going to be considered offside until Seymour touches up. He does. St. Mary's will bring it out quickly. 5.5 minutes to go. 3 seconds in Hardy's penalty. McIntosh bangs it off the boards to the neutral zone. Penalty's expired. Hardy is out. He's up doing some forechecking, trying to create some havoc. Then heads to the bench. Fresh legs on. Hotham's got it. Right through traffic. Just a little bit too far for Lee. And the Varsity Reds get it to the blue line.
Wow.
Not out once again. And still trying. Pridham puts it right on. Travis Fullerton slid right over and gobbled that one up.
I'll tell you, UNB keeps giving the puck away like they are right now here in the last 4 to 5 minutes, Mike, and they're going to find that 3-1 lead very quickly disappears. And really, if it weren't for 2 great saves by Travis Fullerton on O'Donnell, it'd be a 3-3 game right now. And I'll tell you right there, Fullerton just got a piece of that one. The puck bounced off his glove and up on the side, then net very close to the post. I'll tell you, UNB got to settle down here. Giveaway after giveaway.
All due, in fact, to St. Mary's relentless offensive forechecking. UNB puts one right through, and Conway gets that underneath his pad, but lost sight of it. He wasn't sure where that was going. Jordan Clendenning sliding right in there. And Conway had lost sight of that one.
Yeah, for UNB, just way too many penalties in this period, and certainly has taken the flow out of their game totally. And right now, they're back on their heels, and they've got to stay out of the box here. There's 4:47 left in this second period. Got to stay out of the box and try and get some of their momentum back.
So 5 skaters now against 5. That's Brad Smith as he brings this one out, dumps it down for Justin Munden. Mike Danton's on the ice too, number 22 for St. Mary's. Varsity Reds send this one all the way back down the ice. Icing. 4:29 and 19-16 are the shots in favor of St. Mary's. 3-1 the score here at the Aiken Center.
Yeah, if you're St. Mary's right now, they're taking the game to UNB. They've had some terrific scoring chances. That last power play they had probably was one of the best power plays I've seen this season. Really managed to control the puck. Big problem though, UNB kept giving it back to them when they did lose it. UNB just got to be a little more discreet and a little more careful when they move the puck. Make sure they move it to another red sweater.
Rorabeck wins the faceoff for the White Sweaters. St. Mary's controls it inside the UNB zone. Spencer Corcoran on the boards. For the Varsity Reds, they push this to the neutral zone. 3 Red Sweaters on the attack. It's Bailey. Launches it right on, and Neil Conway hangs right on. Nice play by Josh Kidd to get into the play and jump up there and put extra pressure on the goaltender.
Yeah, and Kidd's played well tonight. Bailey's played well, I find, tonight. McIntosh. I find McIntosh and Bailey the last 2 to 3 weeks probably played some of the best hockey of the season.
Hardy's back out on the ice, but Mike Denton is off. Now UNB has changed their lineup a little bit on these face-offs. 1, 2, 3, plus a defenseman pinching in and another defenseman behind him. It's kind of an interesting, it's almost a basketball lineup, you know. Into the corner, tapped in there. Travis Fullerton has to play it. Nick McNeil backhands it out through to the neutral zone. That's Hotham. For St. Mary's, as they send that one up through traffic, Tanaka taps it way back past Fullerton. Wright's got it. Swings it in around the boards. Precision, can't clear it. And kept in by McKinnon. UNB sends it down the other way down into the corner. They make some changes, and St. Mary's will move it up. Here's McKinnon. Swinging that puck through traffic and across ice. The drop pass, a little bit wide of the goal. None of the White Sweaters could pick it up. This is McIntosh trying to stick handle, taken away by Andrew Hotham. As he turns, it's Mike Danton coming down on the left-hand side. Puts his shoulder down, drives, lets the shot go, and it's poked out hard by UNB and way down the ice. Touched by St. Mary's, so it is not icing. 3 minutes to go. It's a 3-1 game, second period. On the backhand, that one's fired in. A little bit too far, whistled down.
Yeah, you got to give St. Mary's full credit in this period, Mike, especially since about the 7th or 8th minute mark. They've really got their feet moving. They've taken the game to UNB. They're really just all over UNB, especially in the UNB zone. And they're just not allowing UNB to get any sort of transition game going at all.
Danton's back out on the ice, and Gardner McDougall is not matching him pound for pound with John Hardy. Probably because he values Hardy sticking around. However, Gallant is out there. That's Munden. Cross-ice pass. Nice play as they put that right onto the stick of Kyle Wharton, who launches it, and Fullerton has to hang on once again.
Yeah, and Danton's going to go off here for 2 minutes. Not a very happy camper with that. He's going to go off for slashing.
And the UNB fans getting on his case a little bit. Those few fans that are here.
Yeah, and we mentioned in the first period, I'm not sure, what would there be here tonight, Mike, 500? When you look around, there's a lot of empty seats, but at the same time, there's a fair number of fans here for the Storm being outside the way it is. So Mike Danton's going to go off here for 2 minutes for UNB. 2:28 left here in the second period. Mike, a chance for them maybe to get a little bit of this momentum back that they've lost.
And off the face-off, the Varsity Reds try to control this. They get it back to their point. Hardy taps it in. Now at the point. Dane Todd. They can't control it. It's scooped up by Cam Fergus, and he sends it down the ice. That gives a little bit of a breather for St. Mary's. Here's Ben Wright. Crosses the line. He'll take that one in deep now. Todd is with him. And the Huskies bounce it off the boards. They'll clear the zone and send it way down the ice once again. 1:55 to go in this period. 1:25 to Mike Danton in the penalty box. 3-1. Shots are now 20-17 in favor of the Huskies. Here come the Varsity Reds. They move it out through to the neutral zone on the attack. Culligan backhands it into the corner. Tremblay's up to help him. Tremblay will swing it around. Kidd keeps it in. Back in deep. Tremblay's going to have to go get it. And St. Mary's bounces it out down the ice once again. Sean O'Donnell took a run at one of the Varsity Reds. And the Varsity Reds end up with the penalty.
Yeah, Culligan's going to go off there. Not sure exactly why he's going off. Interference, maybe?
Looks like a hit to the head.
To the head.
Hit to the head. He's gone for the game then. That's a tough one. I'd have to see that on a replay, but we don't have a replay.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So Culligan gets 2 minutes plus a game for a hit to the head.
So 1:21 here left in the second period. 3-1 lead for UNB. St. Mary's certainly carrying the play here right now. 53 seconds left in the St. Mary's penalty. 2 minutes now left in the UNB penalty. So after 53 seconds to finish off this period, St. Mary's will have that extra man advantage again. And I'll tell you, a lot of great power play opportunities for St. Mary's in this period.
Lee is in the penalty box. So for Culligan, here comes Bailey. He brings it back down. So 4 skaters against 4. 41 seconds remaining in Danton's penalty. It's to the point and kept in by the Varsity Reds. They dump it in on the far side. St. Mary's intercepts. They send it around the boards and try to bring it out. Tyler Cuthbert sends it up high, whistle down, offside.
So a good period here, Mike, for UNB, not for St. Mary's. They've had a good, strong period. They've been skating well. UNB took some undisciplined penalties. Then the referee called maybe a couple that you kind of questioned. That certainly helped out St. Mary's as well. I'll tell you, if it weren't for some great goaltending by Fullerton, especially on O'Donnell, very well could be a 3-3 game instead of a 3-1 game.
Yeah, poor Sean O'Donnell must be thinking that what's he got to do to solve this goaltender?
He's got to be shaking his head because I'll tell you, he had 2 of the best opportunities that he could have ever had.
Dane Todd gets knocked down. St. Mary's is going to get a penalty for that. I don't know if I'd have called that one either, but anyway, you know, Jeff Hopkins is. That was one of those ones like the sub sandwich, isn't it? Next half, I'll call one on yours.
Yeah, and I think maybe that was just a little bit of a makeup call. Maybe after the one on Culligan a few minutes ago, he thought, maybe after he called that, he had second thoughts. So there he called one on St. Mary's. As you say, maybe a bit of a makeup call. And he's calling a lot here right now, and I guess maybe his philosophy, Mike, is make sure this game doesn't get out of hand.
So Danton's got only 10 seconds remaining in his penalty, and McDonald will be gone for another minute and 53 seconds. UNB launches that one through. It's kicked away by a skate. Here's Denoyer. Moves it across ice. The Varsity Reds shoot another one on, and Conway makes a good save. Danton's penalty has expired. He's up high. And what we call the cherry picker states and waits at the blue line as St. Mary's tries to control it and can't. They let the shot go. Shot out and out to the neutral zone. Less than 10 seconds. They tap this one forward, still trying to get things to go. St. Mary's has got it. 2-1 and pumped away. So the score ends up 3-1 at the end of 2 periods. A couple of shady calls that could have gone either way. St. Mary's getting their goal on the nice play down low by Rohrabeck. He was right, Johnny, on the spot and banged that one in. UNB making a couple of excellent plays and ending up with a 3-1 game. The first score was Gallant, a power play goal, Corcoran an even strength goal, and then Lachlan McIntosh getting an even strength goal in the first period. St. Mary's scoring 1 in this one, so 3-1 after 2.
Yeah, a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde game back and forth here so far, Mike. And this second period is probably the kind of period that will drive your coaches a little bit crazy. If you're Gardner, you're not going to be happy at all with that period. Way too many undisciplined penalties. A couple of others that maybe are iffy, but nonetheless, UNB way too much time in the box. Just couldn't get any kind of flow going at all. But it may be even worse than that was a lot of giveaways down in their own zone. As you mentioned about halfway through the period, they seemed to go through this phase where they panicked and they were just throwing the puck. And, guys like Tremblay, Gallant, that normally are rock solid, giving really poor passes. So UNB, a very shaky period. For St. Mary's, got to give them full credit. A lot more offensive opportunity. And if it weren't for a couple of great saves by Fullerton on O'Donnell, instead of a 3-1 lead for UNB, it could very well be
5-3.
3-3 or even a 4-3 lead for St. Mary's. So Trevor Steinberg at least seen some positives in that period that I'm sure he's going to encourage his guys going into the third.
That's for sure. It's a very snowy night in Fredericton. but a hotly contested game, as the game has certainly picked up here into the second period. We would love to hear from you. theredshockey@gmail.com. Send us an email. We can't answer you directly as an email, but we will have time to say hello and how you doing. And we'd love to hear from you wherever you are on this very snowy night in Fredwood. I had to go out between periods and make sure I didn't have a parking ticket on my snowmobile.
Just about. So a little bit of a summary there from that, the first two periods. First period, 2:37 into the game, Luke Gallant from Tremblay and Bailey. Second goal by UNB at 3:30. Corcoran from Kidd and Seymour. Then 57 seconds later, even strength goal, Lachlan McIntosh, and they've now given that assist to Chris Culligan. And in the second period, the only goal of the second period at 12:11, power play goal, Ryan Rohrbeck from Stickland and Wharton. So that's where we stand, folks. It's 3-1, UNB over St. Mary's. UNB, an excellent first period, Mike. Have to give that second period to St. Mary's.
They sure came to life, didn't they? And now the
certainly did.
shots now 20-18 for St. Mary's. They really came to life. They were trailing at one point by nearly 10 shots.
Yeah, and UNB, way too many penalties. Total penalties so far, 13 for St. Mary's, 38 minutes. 13 for UNB, 50 minutes. And just to pick up on a point we talked about at the end of the first period, and that's a stat that they give us at the end of every period from the point of view of the power play. And we talked about how coaches want more shots. We talked about that first period, how St. Mary's on their power play not getting any shots. By the end of two, St. Mary's had 7 opportunities, 10 shots, 1 goal. So obviously in the second period, not only were they getting good power plays, but they were starting to get some good shots. UNB 6 opportunities in the game, only 2 shots. That's only 1 shot every 3 opportunities, versus St. Mary's 10 shots and 7 opportunities. So that sort of gives you a sense. That's what coaches want to see. They want to see you getting that puck on the net.
We're underway now with period number 3. Culligan's got 30 seconds remaining in his penalty. David McDonald's got a minute and change on his. If you're just joining us, as Pearlie said, 3-1's the score. We're at the Aitken Center on a very snowy night in Fredericton. Seems like it's snow all over North America tonight. Here's Tremblay. He's on the attack. Number 7 with his fan club in London, Ontario and across Alberta. Out come the Varsity Reds once again. Stamler backhands it in past Neil Conway. Conway's done some great saves here tonight. At the other end, Travis Fullerton has certainly kept the Varsity Reds in. There's Fullerton. Up off the boards, the V-Reds can't get it out. And they'll try once again. 1 penalty's expired. Still 19 seconds to David McDonald's penalty. Throwing way down the ice, right on to Travis Fullerton. 10 seconds remaining in McDonald's penalty. Varsity Reds unable to get anything going in the few seconds they had as a power play. Driven into the corner. That's Nick McNeil fighting for the Varsity Reds. He gets it back. UNB trying to control it down low. Bailey does. And takes a banging and crashing from Tyler Cuthbert for his efforts. From the point then, steered all the way back in by Luke Gallant. Penalties expired, even strength. Little wrestling going on in the face-off circle. Out comes Cam Fergus for St. Mary's, all by himself. Bailey takes it away from him. St. Mary's does control it still inside the UNB zone. To the blue line. Colby Pridham slaps it back in and around the boards. St. Mary's controlling it inside the UNB zone. The Varsity Reds have got it now, and out they'll come. That's McNeil. Crosses the red line, rolls it in. UNB makes some quick changes. St. Mary's changes a couple too, so out it comes. Delayed offside, tapped out finally by St. Mary's. Dane Todd having a hard time getting some wheels going there. Ben Wright swings it back the other way. Kidd to right, they launch it right in onto Neil Conway, and he's going to hang right onto that one.
You know, as I look down on the other end, the UNB end here a minute ago, Mike, and watch UNB come out of their zone. Big thing UNB's just not doing right now, and they really didn't do in that second period. They're just not moving their feet. And you watch teams, whether it's UNB, and if you'd watch UNB here in the first, UNB's feet were jumping. They were really moving. In the second period and so far here, only a couple minutes into the third, they're just not skating with that same intensity they did here in the first period.
Pearlie, how do you change that if you're a coach? Are you liable to say, get somebody going, or are you going to start screaming at the players? What's it going to take?
Well, it's probably a number of things you could do. You're probably on the bench. You're going to talk to your guys and tell them to get the feet moving. You're going to maybe throw out some of these guys, the Seymour line and some of the lines that are probably do have their feet moving better, try and get some of that tempo back. The best tempo out there tonight is probably McIntosh and Bailey. I find they've got a real good pace, and they seem to be skating.
Bailey's out there now. Fullerton. Always, there's always a little suspense when Fullerton's playing. Into the corner. St. Mary's will try to control this one. McNeil bumping it. Neil Conway will fire it the other side. St. Mary's chases it out and way back down the ice. The Reds tap it in. 16-21. You're joining us on SSN Canada from Fredericton. We're at the Aiken Center. A very snowy night. Big blizzard going on here. And as we said, they called school off early. Called school at 2 o'clock rather than 3:30 because they were worried about getting the kids home. Now, that doesn't happen very often here.
No, it certainly doesn't. Had a nice email here a moment ago as well, Mike, from Tammy Westberg, who's joining us tonight from Washington State, about 3,500 miles here, the opposite coast, of course. They were Taylor Precision's billets during his WHL career. Mentions that, in addition to being a great hockey player, an incredible young man. It's been 60 degrees, she tells us, in Washington State today, Mike.
Yep, rub it in. It ain't that here, I'll tell you. Into the corner, that's Campbell. He gets it back to the point. Wright slaps that one through traffic, steered away. Campbell's got it again for the Varsity Reds, looking for someone to help him out. Hotham holding down the fort. The Varsity Reds have got it right through the crease. And we've got a penalty called against St. Mary's. Nice to hear from you wherever you are. We'd love to hear more of these emails. VRedsHockey@gmail.com. And how nice that we've got some of these people joining us. This is still just mind-boggling, isn't it? We've got people joining us in Erie, PA, all across Saskatchewan, Alberta, Ontario, and now Washington State. Just magic.
Yeah, and quite often, of course, we hear from alumni. We hear from various family members that tuning in to watch, sons, brothers, and so on. But we've got 2 emails here tonight, from billets. Places where these hockey players played and stayed during their, OHL, WHL, and so on careers. And, these kids have been a lot of places, these hockey players. And, of course, they made a lot of friends along the way.
Isn't that true? That shot is in a little bit wide. The rebound off the boards. UNB's trying to control it. David McDonald is gone for hooking for 2 minutes or less. St. Mary's is shorthanded. Launched in by Gallant. He got the first goal here tonight. He's got it again at the point. UNB trying to move it around, and they've got St. Mary's scrambling a little bit. UNB on the attack. Here's the drop pass to Gallant. They swing it around, cross ice, back to the point, Gallant. Rolling it in through traffic. St. Mary's bangs it out. Rorabeck sending it down the ice. Gallant back to get it inside the UNB zone. Tremblay's at the blue line. Whistle down offside, however.
Yeah, and what St. Mary's here, we get a bit of a scrum down here with Bailey. What St. Mary's is doing here now very effectively tonight on the penalty kill, Mike, is they're playing that diamond. And they're being very aggressive, the forward on the forecheck. And really, they're making UNB move the puck very quickly. And that really hasn't allowed UNB here, especially in the second and third, much of an opportunity to set up and really much of an opportunity to really do much on the power play. So if you're UNB, you've just got to move a little quicker.
Face-off will be inside the UNB zone. 14:56 to go. Nice to have you wherever you are on the World Wide Web, and Pearlie would love to hear from you. VRedsHockey@gmail.com. Varsity Reds are on the attack. McNeil can't get it through. It comes back to the UNB point. Kidd slaps it in. Nice save by the goaltender and shot way down the ice. 57 seconds remaining in David McDonald's penalty. Travis Fullerton back behind the UNB goal. Sets things up. And out come the V-Reds once again. Todd And Kidd working in across the blue line. They try to control it. O'Donnell shoveling for it. Getting in there as well as Wallingford. 3 red shirts, 2 white shirts. And UNB still having a hard time trying to control it. Tanaka, he's got a breakaway. O'Donnell trailing. Shot wide. Comes all the way back around. Tanaka with great speed there. Caught the defenseman a little bit flat. Tanaka up doing the forechecking again, being a nuisance and keeping UNB hemmed in. 10 seconds to go to David McDonald's penalty. 3-1 is the score here at the Aiken Center. This is what we would consider a weekend of champions because UNB won it and will be hosting it. St. Mary's won it last year. A couple of years ago it was UNB's turn, and in 2002 it was St. Francis Xavier's turn to win it here at the Aiken Center in triple overtime. A game that took us until midnight on Sunday night. This is McIntosh. Shovels. Nice play. Conway got the pad out there. Blocked that shot. And another one through traffic by Hardy. McIntosh playing a great game. Hustled right in there. Tomorrow night we have St. Francis Xavier here in town. Always a tough game. St. Mary's here gave up 3 goals in the first period. Got the second one. Got their goal in the second period. And that's where we stand with 12 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this period. Into the corner, that's Corcoran. Backhands it around the goal. Corcoran picks it up on the far side. There's a big shot. Neil Conway, big save. Hangs right on. He hasn't given up a lot of rebounds.
No, really, other than that first, couple of quick goals they got on him, Mike, he's been pretty solid back there. Not giving up any rebounds, coming out nicely and challenging, doing the job very well. And, he's their number 1 goaltender. And you look at his stats, get good stats. Maybe just sort of caught a little bit off surprise early in the first period. Didn't get a lot of defensive help. And you got to give UNB full credit, too. Tonight, they jumped out to a really good quick start and simply took the momentum away from St. Mary's. Stickland
in for Rohrabeck. He's waved out. Then O'Donnell. O'Donnell does some muscling, and, as we said, you can get a minor penalty for this. And the referee is going to let them go on this one. Jeff Hopkins is the referee. The linesmen at times have had their hands full with some rough stuff here in tonight's game. This is Denoyer. For the Varsity Reds, they swing it back around. Seymour sends it up the ice. Gives O'Donnell a push and a shove. And they're talking more about how they don't like each other than their golf game. Back to the point. David McDonald launches that one in behind the UNB goal. O'Donnell chasing. Out come the Varsity Reds. 12 minutes exactly in regulation. 3-1 still the score. It's shot in. Neil Conway will play it. He's faced 23 shots. He's faced 21 shots. What am I saying? He's faced 23 shots. Let's get this right. UNB's faced 21. Oh, that's easy for you to say, Pearlie.
Yeah, one of the things that does point out, Mike, is normally, whoa, what a collision down here between Bailey and the goaltender, St. Mary's goaltender.
Well, we'll see this one. The fans that are here giving a big hand for this one because Hopkins calling this penalty on David McDonald. That's about his 6th time in the penalty box tonight.
Yeah, and I think he's kicking McDonald out.
Well, I think he interfered with the player as the play went down the ice. Now, that's too bad because McDonald has been a mainstay of their defense tonight. 11:25, McDonald gets this penalty.
Yeah, and I think that's a case just maybe yapped a little too much, and the referee's been on a pretty short, he kept these guys tonight, Mike, on a pretty short leash. He's called a pretty strict game. As I mentioned here a few minutes ago, you look at the penalties tonight. And after 2 periods, 11 for St. Mary's, 13 for UNB. So that's 24 penalties.
Well, now St. Mary's has got to put a guy in the penalty box, and Okay, so McDonald is in, but they still got 5 skaters on the ice. And the surly mood that this referee is in, I wouldn't want to be St. Mary's. Keeping 5 guys on the ice, they'll end up with too many men on the ice.
Yeah, one of the messages that the referee tonight, Brad Jenkins, has been very strict. Or excuse me, Jeff Hopkins rather, has been very strict. And I'll tell you, he's not letting very much go here. And maybe you might say going overboard there in the second, but he wants to keep this one under control. You got to give him credit for that.
So McDonald gets 2 minutes in a game misconduct for interfering from the box with somebody skating by. That's a penalty that we rarely see, but interestingly, I think we've seen 2 or 3 of them this year since the start of 2011. 10:45. That's Gallant. Over to Tremblay. UNB's on the power play. McDonald gone for interference. Varsity Reds put one in right through traffic. Denoyer, and all of them got together on that one.
Yeah, McIntosh will get the second of the game for him. And, you know, I made the comment earlier, Mike, I think McIntosh is playing one of the best games tonight I've seen him play in a long time. He's had 2 partial breakaways, 1 full breakaway, 2 goals here now. And I'll tell you, that's a tremendously important goal for UNB. All of a sudden now you've got a 4-1 lead, 10 minutes and 37 seconds left. And the game really, since the second period, St. Mary's had been carrying the momentum. So big switch here now for UNB.
4-1 now. McIntosh getting credit for that one. This is Seymour, and he launches that one deep. Lee chases it. Campbell's got it around behind the goal, and St. Mary's intercepts. They bring the puck out, roll it in deep, and they're chasing it. You know they want to come back to life on this one. Down there, throwing his weight around is Lucas Bloodoff. With 10 minutes to go in regulation time, a 4-1 game. Jeff Hopkins has called a number of penalties. And the last one to David McDonald ended up that shorthanded. St. Mary's couldn't control UNB as they took off from the face-off and put it in. UNB with the shots, edge in shots, 25-21. Here's the Varsity Reds again, off the boards. They tap this one out to the blue line. They can't get it out. And St. Mary's keeps it in deep. Working along the boards, Chris McKinnon, who's played a great game himself here tonight. The Varsity Reds swing it around the other way, and they'll bring it out now, tapping it to the blue line. Corcoran sends it in deep. Hits the glass. Dane Todd up doing the forechecking to try and pick it up. Back to the point. Hardy launches this one in. No Varsity Red can get their stick on it. McKinnon will bring it back the other way for St. Mary's and dumps it in. UNB and St. Mary's make changes. There's Precision, wearing number 44 tonight with a fan club that extends all the way to Washington State. Down the ice, just a little bit too far, and Clendenning and Gottschalk bump on the boards.
A couple more emails, Mike. One from Mark Crane, who sent us an email from Upper Island Cove in Newfoundland.
Hey. And
watching his nephew, Jonathan Hardy, out there. And Hardy, I'll tell you, plays a tough game every night. I'll tell you, he's a real anchor back there in UNB's D. Also have a nice email.
Well, wait a second. That's Newfoundland to Washington State. That's coast to coast.
Coast to coast. Another nice email from Gary Leverly in Cornwall, Ontario, saying that Nix McNeil, the grandmother's watching from Cornwall, where she's visiting with her daughter.
Nice.
So Nick McNeil's grandmother watching us. We'll wish her the best here tonight as she tunes in.
And, you know, we probably have a bunch of fans right here in Fredericton, or at least in the New Brunswick area, who don't usually tune in. Nice to have you with us. We have a few more games that we'll be bringing you. One tomorrow night against St. Francis Xavier. St. Mary's takes over the puck. That's Justin Munden, who gets beat up on the boards by Tremblay for his efforts and retaliates and is going to get a penalty for that. You know, that was Tremblay that caused that penalty, and Munden retaliated.
You know, and we mentioned a moment ago in the email there, Mike, Nick McNeil's grandmother. When I was going through the stats today, one of the stats that jumped out at me was when I was going through the points leaders on UNB. Nick McNeil, number 12 for UNB, is 6 in scoring and assists for UNB. He sits right now with 6 goals and 5 assists for 11 points. And, there's a typical example of a recruit that Gardner brought in, and, brought him in for his size and just to be one of these guys that you could throw out, big guy in front of the net, and, a good sort of strong two-way player. And offensive-wise, he's had a good year. 6 goals and 5 assists.
Well, just when you say one thing, the referee proves you wrong, because it's Denoyer that's got the 2-minute penalty for the rough stuff. So that means that St. Mary's is on the power play for 2 minutes or less. Right now, 8:12 to go in regulation. 4-1 is the score. McKinnon swings it around to the blue line, and UNB muscles it out. Once again, whistled down very quickly by the referee.
Yeah, and it's tough on a night like tonight, in all fairness to the referee, because, you got 10 guys out on the ice, and you've got all kinds of hooking and grabbing and cross-checking and elbowing and all kinds of other activity out there, and you got one referee that's trying to watch everything, and sometimes as a fan you get really frustrated and mad because you see him miss one penalty and yet he gets another one, and sometimes it's just the time they look up and what they see.
There's Rohrabeck. He's got the goal for St. Mary's tonight. He'll move the puck inside the St. Mary's zone and behind the goal. Drop pass gives that to Kyle Wharton, who starts out. 7 minutes and 40 to go in regulation time. Tapped up. And Fergus has got it now for St. Mary's, and they've got to get started once again. UNB's got 1:10 remaining on that penalty that they have to kill off. There's McNeil. As you said, brought in for his size and speed, and turns out to be quite a talented hockey player. Throwing out through traffic, Varsity Reds have scooped it up again. They're going to kill off some time by moving it back into their own zone. Now they gun this one in from way down deep. Ryan Seymour's up looking for the puck. Chris McKinnon will start out. Seymour taking Law here at UNB. To the boards, to the blue line, and out. Stickland will have it. He swings it around for Wharton. Watched by Tremblay, and has to swing it out fast. Tremblay taps it out of the air. Can he get it? No. Poked away by the defense. Drop pass. Culligan comes in. Gets right in there. Neil Conway saw that one all the way in and stayed with the shooter. Denied him an opportunity.
Yeah, beautiful play there by Hunter Tremblay. Made a nifty move. Realized he wasn't going to get by the St. Mary's defenseman. What's he do? He just flips it through his skate straight to Culligan. Culligan walks in, and I'll tell you, a really nice save there by Neil Conway. Otherwise, it'd be a 5-1 game here.
6.5 minutes to go. Nice to have you wherever you are in the World Wide Web. Thanks for joining us. We're here tomorrow night, and we have one more game after that, the St. Thomas game, which will be a barn burner. There will be 3,800 fans in the seats for that game. These two teams play each other so tight and don't like each other. They're cross-campus rivals. When they go out for a cold drink to some of the night spots, the bouncers worry when they get together. That's Stamler on the boards. They move it around to the other side. The Varsity Reds launch it out to the blue line, and St. Mary's can't keep it in. The Huskies trying to send it forward. Precision, trying to pick up the puck, and Tanaka was offside.
So 6:09 left here in the third period. 4-1 lead for UNB. 26-21. UNB's taking that lead in the shots on goal again. Certainly St. Mary's, though, really up until that goal by Lachlan McIntosh, probably carried about 30 minutes of this game. They really pulled the momentum away from UNB.
McIntosh's parents are probably cheering tonight in the Black Lion pub in Perth, Andover, New Brunswick. Usually an hour and a half, 2 hours out of Fredericton, but tonight it could take you 6 hours to get there.
Yeah, and unless something changes here, Mike, certainly picking the player of the game tonight's, I'd say, a pretty easy task. McIntosh scores 2 goals, 2 partial breakaways, 1 full breakaway, and I'll tell you, he's been a pepper pot out there. And, as a coach, you need different guys to come through on different nights, and certainly tonight I find he's played great, Bailey's played great. That's what a coach wants to see.
That's for sure. Mike Danton is out there. He's number 22. He's watching Denoyer. Varsity Reds put it back in. They're back at even strength, 5:41. St. Mary's will try to bring it out. Jeff Lee was up killing off some time. UNB takes advantage of this and makes some changes. Out comes St. Mary's. Up the boards, Brad Smith has it taken away, and UNB just sends it way back down the ice. That's McNeil who's doing the forechecking now. Bringing it up, Justin Munden. Typically one of the St. Mary's starters. One of the guys they can count on. He's played a good game too. UNB taps it out. Danton gets beat by McNeil. McNeil swings it around, just gets past Rohrabeck. The shot right on to Neil Conway, who comes up with the save. St. Mary's moves it out through to the neutral zone. McIntosh launches this one up. Dane Todd fighting for it on the boards, and he's watched there by Cam Fergus. And the Huskies send it out through to the neutral zone. Hardy, forward pass to Corcoran, and he launched that one off a stick, off the netting, and whistled down.
So 4:35 left here in the third period, Mike. You look around the rink here tonight, and we've mentioned a number of times there's a real bad storm going on outside here, and not a very pleasant night. But, I look around the rink, and I'll tell you, the fans are not leaving at all here. They're enjoying this game.
Free popcorn. That's what's keeping them.
Although it's probably warmer in here than it is outside.
Yes. 4-1 is the score, and 4.5 minutes to go in regulation. These two teams, UNB with 30 points, three points behind them, St. Mary's. And so St. Mary's doesn't want to give this up, and they're going to fight to the final whistle. Here's an example. It's fired way down the ice. Cam Fergus up looking for it behind the goal. And the Varsity Reds have got it. They'll bring it across ice. Dane Todd swings it up, gives it to Hardy. Hardy tries to tap it in. Fired in behind the goal. We're getting another penalty. Now, it's almost like it doesn't matter who's got possession of the puck. That used to be the thing. We blew the whistle down. That was it. It didn't matter. And then we started to play the advantage.
Yeah, Justin Wallingford, number 25 for St. Mary's, is going to go out there, and coming down the wing there was Jonathan Hardy, and he gave Hardy a pretty nice little face wash with his gloves, and unfortunately for him, the referee was about 3 strides behind him, and the referee says, nope, let's go off. So UNB here with 3:59 left, get a 2-man advantage here to help kill a couple minutes.
There's no penalty in the books for face wash. So he gives him a roughing penalty. Tapped up along the boards. The UNB Varsity Reds are controlling it. Precision, back pass to Clendenning. To the point. Kidd launches it in through traffic. It's bouncing around to the face-off circle. Precision now. UNB, man advantage for another minute and 35 seconds. From the point. This one right in. It's on the crease. And right there was Precision. We haven't seen the best of young Precision yet, I'm sure.
No, and I'll tell you right there, Mike, sometimes it's just a fraction of a second. And he saw that puck drop, and he just probably about 6 inches away from getting a stick on and putting it in the open net. And we certainly haven't seen the best of him. And, you had guys like Precision. You've got a guy, Dane Todd, of course, out all fall with the injuries. There's a lot of talent in those two guys alone. And as just second half goes on, they're going to get better as they get their game speed back.
Shot in from the point by Kidd, steered away. St. Mary's will bring it out. Quickly they get this one up. That's O'Donnell, crosses the blue line. Now he'll try to take it in deep as he's watched by Stamler and gets bumped on the boards for his efforts. And the Varsity Reds come up with it. Nice effort by O'Donnell here tonight in tonight's game. Has had a couple of golden chances right on the doorstep and played ferocious every single shift. 2 minutes and 50 seconds in regulation time. Way down the ice by St. Mary's. 45 seconds remaining in that penalty to Wallingford, who's gone for face washing, only it's called roughing. Campbell swings it across the ice. 5 red shirts are on the attack. The defensive diamond set up by St. Mary's. 2 minutes and 28. Hardy, cross ice, Ben Wright. Hardy again. Todd pinching in. Campbell right in the crease. The shot right in. Neil Conway's good on that one.
So if UNB can hang on, Mike, for another 2 minutes and 14 seconds to this 4-1 lead, it's going to put him 32 points in the standing. St. Mary's, the next challenger, back at 27. So 5 points separate the two. Each of these teams will be down to 8 games. I'll tell you, that's the only problem with this AUS season. It is so short that your games all mean so much, because you start to lose a couple and it seems you run out of season.
Well, I know, Pearlie, you'd like to see them play 40 games.
Oh, it's such good hockey, Mike, and sometimes we just seem to be getting warmed up and getting fans involved in this hockey, and season's over.
Marketer's nightmare, wouldn't it be?
Oh, it certainly is, and it's like here at home. We got the game tonight, and of course a nice game tomorrow night against the X-Men. But really, other than that, we have one regular season game left because UNB's on the road, and you just get the fans really into the game, and it seems the team heads on the road, and the regular season's over.
St. Mary's continues on the attack. They snap this one through traffic. That's Danton's shot. He gets bumped in the process. Corcoran can't control it in the neutral zone. Minute and 25 seconds remaining. For all intents and purposes, this one is in the books. Now, how is it going to end? Is there going to be some rough stuff? Because there is some real animosity between a couple of these players here tonight. Bringing that out is Campbell. Steps around Danton, looking for it. Tries to bat it in on the backhand. Can't control it, and it's sent the other way. Danton, stick handling, has it poked away, and the Varsity Reds come up with it. Launched in hard by Lachlan McIntosh. Right onto the goaltender, and he hangs right on. 57 seconds to go.
Yeah, a couple chippy plays out there on that chip, Mike, and with 57.7 seconds left, if you're Gardner right now, I would think the message is going to be, don't put your marquee players out there. You don't want any of your number one guys getting injured. You've had a good game here, and sometimes it can get a little chippy, and that's the biggest concern coaches have in the last minute.
Well, as we said, for all intents and purposes, this one is in the books. Under a minute to go. The Varsity Reds swing it to the point, missed by Denoyer. He's had a real hard time controlling the puck tonight, and I don't know whether it's the speed or the fact that he maybe has had a little bit of a layoff.
Yeah, and I think in the case of Denoyer, he shows a lot of good moves, and he's going to be a great asset to this club. But he's coming out of junior hockey, and it takes a while to adjust. So a lot of people don't realize the speed and the quickness of this league, and he comes in also halfway through the season. And once he adjusts, maybe give another 2 or 3 weekends of play here, you're going to see he's going to fit in quite nicely.
The Varsity Reds will do everything now called Kitty Bar the Door, and they just bring it out. Lee crosses the line. Stopped there. St. Mary's will bring it back. 3, 2, 1. This one is over. The shot right on at the final second. And the referee holding his hand up. I'm not sure if he wasn't going to call a penalty at the very last minute. I think he was. Very last second. 4-1 then is the final score. And the referee is calling a penalty at the very last second of play, but the buzzer went anyway. Well, Mr. Hopkins has got me confused because I can't tell who he's called and who he hasn't called on a penalty. But that's how it ends anyway. 4-1 and no blood spilt on the ice.
So if he got paid by the penalty tonight, Mike, I'll tell you he's made a fortune. So there's a great shot of of Trevor Steinberg down there now, and he's walked over and he's talking to the referee. Not very happy at all. And normally you don't see the coaches go near the referee at the end of the game, but he's not very happy at all with a few of these calls. And pretty hard to make a whole lot of comments about the referee in here tonight. It was a tough game. It was a physical game. There was a lot of play on the ice. I think he tried to control it best he could. Sometimes referees, when there's only one of them, and it's not to make an excuse, but there's only one of you, and you see what you can see, and that's why the league experiments, and we'll have 2 in the playoffs. You have 2 sets of eyes. It makes it a lot easier.
Well, 4-1 is the final score in tonight's game. No blood spilt. Some animosity and some no love for each other for sure amongst these two teams because of the tension that is always in the rink when St. Mary's is here. Because they're such a championship team, because they fight for every single inch, for every single puck. So 4-1 is the final score. Bailey player number 3, star number 3. Lachlan McIntosh.
Yeah, pretty hard not to pick Lachlan McIntosh here tonight as number 1 star, Mike. Just a terrific game, 2 goals. He was all over the ice tonight. Every time you looked up, he was on a partial breakaway. Just certainly probably one of the best games I've seen him play here now for probably a year or so.
Well, Pearlie, how do you rate this game, or how do we wrap up here? UNB wins it. That gives them 32. St. Mary's has got to have their. They played period 2 very, very well. They came out ahead in the shots. That's a positive. On the other hand, they're probably not very happy about the outcome of this game.
Yeah, when you look at this game, Mike, really you can almost take it down to that first period. UNB got the jump tonight. You know, teams always talk about getting out to a fast start, taking the momentum away, and that's really what UNB did here tonight. Very quick start, got the jump, got the game away from St. Mary's, really before St. Mary's got their legs. And that really seemed to make the difference. And, once you get up by 3 goals, you can come back. And, of course, you see it in hockey all the time. But it's a tough road, especially against a talented team like UNB. Give St. Mary's credit, though. Second period, I thought they really owned UNB. And in the third, probably the first third of the third period, they played very well. And, they still were in the game. And it wasn't until that 4th goal that sort of took the wind out of them.
Now, I have a sense that UNB could have taken it up another notch if they'd had to. I don't know that you said Bailey was all over the ice. So was Tremblay, McIntosh was. I think probably we could have seen 3 or 4 more guys out there that had taken the game up to another level, particularly the defense. Hardy, Gallant, who can pinch in, and both of them managed to get draw some attention from the defensive end and steer things away and sometimes put the goal in. I did have a feeling that UNB didn't really have their best game tonight, and they could have taken it up another notch. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd say UNB could have at times. You've got to give St. Mary's credit, though. St. Mary's, they've got a good club, and, maybe they didn't get the best of starts here tonight, but, St. Mary's, when you look statistically, when you look at their play so far this year, St. Mary's have got a good hockey club. And, when it comes down to the end of the season and come playoff time, St. Mary's is going to be there right along with UNB. Who's the best at executing? Who's the best at maybe turning the play up to that next level?
Well,
that's when we really start to see it.
That's right, and we might very well see UNB and St. Mary's here in the playoffs. We'll be bringing you those games right through the playoffs. The top 2 teams have a bye in this league, and then the playoff ensues, and then we'll see some games here at UNB as they'll be involved in those things. We'd love to hear from you. We're here again tomorrow night, V-Reds Hockey. All one word, vredshockey@gmail.com. We're in snowy Fredericton. Good to hear from you wherever you are. Have you heard from somebody else?
Yeah, we got a couple of emails here that came in just a moment ago from Andrew Decken, and said he really enjoyed the game tonight.
Thank you, Andrew.
Looking forward to it. Eddie Trail, again, follows us. Missed the first couple of periods, but he said it was good to see Corcoran get one tonight. And missed Donnie McAdam, of course, doing the presentation to Stamler at the in the first part of the game.
Yes, he would know Donnie quite well, wouldn't he? Yeah. Played with him and played for him as coach. Donnie McAdam, somebody I respect very much. He was very nice to me when I was a young art student here on the campus, and Donnie opened lots of doors for me wherever he possibly could. This final